Well, which city is more miserable, Paris or Madrid? They're not exactly happy, are they, at the Bernabeu? 4 straight home losses for the Merengues, first time since 2004. Those losses, of course, coming in 3 different competitions, the most recent of it, the worst of the lot, perhaps, against Ajax. There's been some recent reports that Santi Solari could be on his way out very soon indeed. And guess what? Jose Mourinho is the man being lined up to replace him. Julien, again, Jose Mourinho, why? Did they see Manchester United in the last 18 months under his stewardship?
Yeah, I think they did. I think Florentino Perez still has Jose Mourinho in really high esteem, and they've never stopped talking since Mourinho left the club a few years ago. They still stayed in good terms. And I think there's a lot of things that Florentino Perez likes about Jose Mourinho, like that leadership, for example, that we talked earlier about PSG, he likes the way Mourinho can hold the dressing room. Clearly, Solari doesn't have the same impact on his dressing room. We know that he's a dead man walking, whether that's before the Valladolid game at the weekend, after the Valladolid game, or maybe even at the end of the season, that they will let him finish the season, to wait maybe for someone like Massimo Allegri, who is another potential candidate if he was to leave Juventus in the summer. I'm still not convinced about Mourinho going back, but it's a few times now that I'm hearing that it could happen. So maybe Florentino Perez, considering the situation, is thinking that he's the best guy to just rescue the team.
It still seems astonishing, Craig. They couldn't wait to run him out of town in 2012, 2013. Couldn't wait.
No, he had a tricky time at the end, particularly with certain players. But I'm not in the camp of being shocked at this because, you know, I think all too often we kind of look at what's happened in the most recent time and we sort of pigeonhole that manager or coach with that. Now, there's no doubt it did not end well for him at Chelsea and it did not go well for him at Manchester United. That cannot be argued. However, the other thing that can't be argued is he has been one of the great managers of his generation. Now, if that's the Jose Mourinho that Real Madrid, if he goes there, get, then I don't really see a big issue with it. But if it's the Manchester United Jose Mourinho, then it's a car crash. So that's the kind of risk that you take. But in terms of his CV, I mean, I just don't think it's that big an issue.
You surprised?
I am.
Thought you might be.
Yeah, this to me makes absolutely no sense.
Yep,
for a number of reasons. I think Jose Mourinho, as good as his CV is, his success has come with clubs where he's been able to employ that siege mentality. Whether it's Porto or Inter or Chelsea, clubs who had been starved of that relative success before then, so can buy into what Jose Mourinho was selling. So it came as no real surprise that you go to a club like Real Madrid, who historically one of the biggest clubs in European football, and that dressing room didn't buy into what he was selling. Similarly at Manchester United. That only gets you so far, and it gets you nowhere with big clubs. Now, if you're saying that you're bringing in Jose Mourinho to settle things down and at least make sure you qualify for the Champions League at the end of the season, and then you're going to start thinking long and hard about who's the long-term successor, whether Jose Mourinho is one or not. Jose Mourinho is not taking a job to be to hold out, to keep the seat warm while you make a decision in the summer. For me, it just doesn't make
Shaq,
any
you've got to
kind
define
of
success because he had success to an extent at Real Madrid. He didn't deliver the Champions League, but he delivered
1 league title.
But
that's where Real Madrid have set their own bar.
What level of sense does this make?
What won the Champions League?
It doesn't make any sense at all. To me, Real Madrid's season's over. It's done and dusted. So, what are they going to... Personally, on 2 fronts, what's Jose going to achieve? I don't think with this poison chalice of this Real Madrid squad, because we've all spoken about it recently, but this needs a rebuild. I mean, not just a small rebuild. This needs a major do-over. Now, what is he going to achieve when he gets... I think this could really put a bomb under Jose Mourinho's career. You know, yes, he's been fantastic. We understand that. But what has he done recently at Manchester United? It's been an absolute mess. And the way that he's dealt with players, and it seems as though what you've got to do at Real Madrid is to deal with those players. I don't think he's got it in him anymore.
Julien, if it does happen, let's say it does happen, how does it work? How do you see it working?
well, first he will have to make peace with Sergio Ramos and Marcelo, who are the two players that, towards the end of his first time there, were really at war with him. And Marcelo will probably be sold in the summer, but I don't think Sergio Ramos will. So Sergio Ramos will have to do with Jose Mourinho, and Jose Mourinho will have to do with Sergio Ramos as well. And I'm not sure, to start with, how this one is going to pan out. And then there's obviously a big overhaul of players in that squad to be done in the summer. Is Jose Mourinho the right manager for that? Again, I'm not so sure. Does he even want to do that? I would have been surprised before to saying that he was keen on doing that. Usually, like Shaka said, he likes arriving with a certain standard of players in his squads and not having to rebuild everything like it will be the case this summer for Real Madrid. And again, if Real Madrid wants to sign, let's say, Eden Hazard, I'm not really sure Eden Hazard would be delighted to go and work at Real Madrid with Jose Mourinho again.